lesson observation. Next one. So today we're going to talk about table of contents first. That first part will talk about the background knowledge, the background information of this course, and the second part will be the pros and cons of this teacher and her teaching styles to the suggestions. And the third part will be 2 tools about its overall analysis. Next page. So about the background information, next one. So background information is that the target students are 11th grade English learners, and on a course about selective reading course, it's a full English classroom. And there are 2 periods. First period is the continuation and recapitulation of the last chapter that they've talked about and full of presentations. But today we're point will focus on the entry to the new chapter today. Okay, so let's talk about its pros and cons.
Okay, some good things about the teaching. First of all, the teacher did pay attention to her students. Like she asked students, what's the problem? We know sometimes some teachers would just keep talking on and on without noticing that maybe there's a student raising his hand. So it's important to know what's going on in the class all the time. And then she provides a task for students to do, but not just play the video, and after that you don't even know how much intake the students have really processed or how well they learned. And she encouraged every student to speak, though she said something like those who doesn't speak will leave the classroom, which is not very pleasant to hear. It's still necessary that you try to encourage them to talk. Then the classroom management. She arranged the tables and divided students into groups before the class, and that's what we'll be doing if we have some groups or group works for them to do. And asking good questions from time to time will be important and a useful strategy to keep them alert and also engaged in the class. It also triggers their thinking. And then using electronic devices will be more and more helpful considering the rapid development of technology. As a teacher, I think it's going to benefit both of us and students if we have a variety of materials to use. It could be time saving and also very convenient. And then for giving examples, I think only giving descriptions would not really help students to understand and know how a word can apply to different contexts. By giving examples and synonyms, they're more likely to really use the word in everyday conversation. The last one, students' motivation of doing assignment could be higher or lower, depending on whether the task is related to themselves. When we're planning a task or activity, we can take this element into consideration. It would be easier and more fun to start a task relevant to their own experiences. Next.
Going to talk about some disadvantages that we saw from the class. And the first one is equipment. The teacher, she just spent about 3 minutes dealing with the speaker problem. And afterwards, she solved this problem by using a student's cell phone to play the sound of the video. The second one is focusing on the video. We just found that students do not focus on the whole video since they have already known what to focus on before watching the video. And the third one is the discussion rules. And because the teacher, she adds a rule after discussion time starts, and it makes the students' discussion a little bit chaotic. And the fourth one is the time of the discussion. They first have 5 minutes to discuss, but they only have 3 minutes to discuss, and it may make the students have shorter time. And next is the rude words. Because the teacher, she uses shut up to make the students be quiet. Okay, but I think it's not really good. So, and the next one is the presentation content. The content of group presentation is a little bit similar, so that others will not focus on the presentations. And the next one is giving prizes. The teacher, she just says that she will give 2 top tables the prizes, but at that she just give 1 table. Okay, so then we will focus on each advantages and give some suggestions. The first one is she can check checks the equipment before class, and it can save time and ignore the accident to happen. The second one, she can assign tasks after watching the video. Although it may take more time to do the task or need to repeat the video, it can increase students' interest to watch the whole video in order not to miss any important information. And the third one is that she can explain the task and rules in bullet points, since it will make students understand what to do more easily. Like she can say, first, we will have 5 minutes to discuss. And at first, each group needs to discuss about what. Okay. And the fourth one, she can set a timer or an explicit time, like we will end the discussion at 9:20 to control discuss time more precisely. Next, maybe she can avoid use some rude words, maybe like she is better than shut up. And the sixth one is she can divide the task into smaller parts, and it can solve the contents of each group's presentation is too similar. Like the task in this class, the teacher can divide the task into 4 parts. So it can not only have the students listen to other groups' presentation, but also make the content of presentation different from each group. And the seventh one, she can make the students vote for the champion, so that they will be more focused on the presentations. And next, we will have some suggestions for the whole class. After the task of the video finishes, the teacher can make a short conclusion to it, and then go to the next part. So to make a good transition between tasks. Okay.
Alright, so next one, moving to the very last part about the overall analysis. So we choose 2 tools as our observation tools. First one is about Flanders interactional analysis, which have 9 indexes about the teacher and students relationship. And the second one is a teacher professional development, which have 3 parameters under that category. So the tool 1, Flanders interaction analysis, that in the first period about the presentation, this the teacher pupil interaction would be number 1, 2, 3, and 8 about accepting feelings, encouragement, using pupils' ideas, and pupil talk responses, which this teacher have done very well, that knows how to extend students' opinion and ideas, incorporate it into the class materials, and try to forming a very well spoken English environment for their students. And the second one about lectures is that she used number 9 and 6 giving directions and pupil talk initiation. Try to use a more teacher controlled perspective for their students to learn from her lectures. And the second tools that we're going to use today is about the teacher's professional criteria. That the first part, the first parameter, the assignment of the course and her teaching styles, that we could see that she have incorporated so much teaching styles about the token, about other, audiolingualism and grammatical one to help the student to learn diversely, which that she regretted very well. And the second parameters under category B, next one, that will be a classroom management. Like I've told you that she have performed and try to form such a very good, well-spoken environment for their student to create a full English one, which that she have managed very well. And the third one about the professional one, this we could not actually really observe from the 2 class observation. Alright, so next one. So in the end, that we've both scanned this teacher's teaching style synchronously and asynchronously, and by and large, we found that actually these 2 approaches made us to examine the idea very detailedly and also generally, and we've learned very much, and we've offer our pros and cons and our suggestions, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, so thank you very much.